Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Connection Esports Arena. I'm Matt, joined here by Madav, and we are ready for some more Overwatch action. It's Thursday, and that means it's time for me to scream.
Yes, sir. We're getting into this Overwatch game. We're going to be up against Queen's Gaels here, and I'm pretty excited for how this match is going to go. I mean, from last Overwatch's game, I believe we got to... we went through all 5 maps, right? Or all the way to Control. I believe so. I could be wrong.
I think we might be thinking of that Friday, but...
Maybe.
Anyway, in any case,
yeah.
SNHU looking to protect their undefeated streak thus far in the NECC.
Okay.
Went up against a couple of really tough challengers, especially Champlain, I believe, week 2 of NECC.
Yeah.
Our rivals from one state over. They were able to fall in a really, really strong 3-1 victory. Meanwhile, Queen's Gaels looking to usurp the throne, so to speak.
They're challenging. But I'm pretty hyped for it. I believe, again, we're going to be starting with the same 5 game modes, starting on Control, going over to Hybrid, Flashpoint, Push, and then ending with Control again. So it's I believe it's gonna be like that for every stream.
I believe you're right.
But for any new viewers who haven't been in this, we're gonna start with Control.
Well, speaking of starting with Control,
yeah,
we're ready to see which Control we are starting with, and it's Lijiang.
Yes,
we all love Lijiang.
Yes.
Everybody loves Lijiang, and for good reason. It's a very varied map, has a lot of open space, but a lot of room for those rush comps to work with. You can really run kind of whatever you want here.
Yeah, I mean, Lijiang, again, I've said this before many times, I very much enjoy Lijiang Tower. I do enjoy a lot of Ball and Lucio comps that go along with this. Just Ball, you can move around in a lot of places. Yeah, there are some open parts, but that's why if you're just a good Ball player, you get in and out. And then Lucio, just to help speed boost them out of there, and then also boot people off the edge. I mean, it's just the greatest thing to look at and watch. But Lijiang, again, one of my personal favorites. And am I missing anything about it?
I mean, as someone who has played into those like Ball comps with a tracer, those type of comps are so awful to play into. Because if I'm like a Ryan or a Ramatra or an Orisa, whatever, well, I was gonna say that I just get destroyed by that hamster combo, but we have just received word that the map has swapped over to Nepal, a last-minute decision being made, I believe, by Queen's Gaels, but not entirely sure on that. This is going to be interesting, but we definitely can see some of those same boops, especially on Nepal Sanctum.
Yes.
That is a really fun map that I don't think we've seen thus far.
I don't believe so
any
either.
of our broadcasts.
I don't think we've seen a lot of Nepal, like, ever.
Well, let's get ready to change that. We are hopping right into this game. We are ready to go. Looking at this Rhine composition for the Queen's Gaels, SNHU hovering this Sigma composition that they've run oh so well.
I thought Crazy Cat was gonna lock in Life Weaver there. I was a little confused on what was happening there. But for the lineups, again, like you said, the standard Sigma poke comp we got here. We got Sigma, Bastion, Mei, Lucio, and Bab, all overall solid. And we are going to see Zen on coming from Gaels, which I don't know if we've seen a lot on stream either, but Moira as well. And you got your solid dive comp with Ryan.
Yeah, I think the onus here is on Liam, Jack, and Carbon to get those executions really quick, but Helios already taking a lot of damage. SNHU pushing in on this left side, and Ultimate catches Lycons, and now the floodgates are open. This border is stuck in a corner. Carbon falls, Osiren drops to the railgun from Feiwan, but it's not enough. A dominant first fight from SNHU.
Yeah, I mean, getting that last pick there is gonna be everything, because now they have to wait for Tracer to get that respawn back, be able to get the comp back up in order to fight once more. So not only did SNHU secure this first point, they also stalled a lot of time that went into it.
Yeah, Queen's Gaels aren't going to make it here to this fight until around 10%, maybe longer. The swap onto the Orisa, I think, is a good one. Is going to be able to allow them to break through this choke a little bit better with that spear spin. But Lycon's kind of stalling in the choke here, means that he drops, and Feiwan, again, committing in, but not able to make anything of it. Liam Jack falls before making it to the spawn point, and another swift team kill.
Yeah, Helios there getting 3 picks right off the bat. You're going to get that Sojourn in the air as well. Put a stop to any type of movement. And he's just going to be super close to ultimate as well. We already see him. He has 81%. I believe that is the second highest, with Mora already being at 90. Misa coming out soon. But the members of Queen's Gaels are just dropping so fast.
We have a Junkrat coming through from Liam Jack. A rotation happening here, but oh no, the Blizzard's almost ready. They're stuck in this corridor and it's hitting all of them. Everyone is falling one by one. Mocha drops the Coalescence to no avail, and SNHU with another team kill.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of switches as well. We're seeing Liam Jack go from the previous Junkrat to a Widow as well, back to over to a Hanzo. Regardless, here we are seeing some swaps, and that, you know, at least they're doing something to change their comp here. And if they're able to get these picks, that could be huge for the Gaels.
It could be, but I think it might be too little too late. SNHU has the ultimates. Liam Jack, though, gets a nice kill onto Multiple Whip, traded out by Kresnik onto Fewa. This is about even right now, but Kresnik gets 3 catches, might catch 1 more as well. Crazy Cat steals the kill, but he gets the kill onto Lycons. Not quite an ace, but it's damn sure close, and
the
SNHU is going to secure round 1 of Nepal. Valiant effort by Queen's Gaels, but just gets stopped in that choke time and time again.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to mention real fast, even though it's been only 1 round, not even a full completed game, the Queens are really pushing up kind of a lot. Obviously, that's what you want to do when you're kind of held in a little bit of a choke point, but I feel like they should have pushed up to where they can do damage and still get enough for ult points, because with more confidence, again, with heading in there, and you know, if you have like a Moira ultimate, that supplies a lot of healing and a lot of damage at the same time. So if you're able to build up these ultimates, not to mention, you know, I think, no, they had a Zen. And yeah, literally a Zen ultimate too. You can walk in there and the healing would just be absurd if they could build that up.
Yeah, switching to this Lucio Sigma comp, it's basically a mirror right now. Now it is, yeah, just basically a mirror. I want to see them play a little more aggressively here, but SNHU already getting to point, and oh no.
They're all stuck in this area there.
All stuck in this little area. The Maywall comes through, but SNHU's is even bigger, and so much damage being pumped out by Helios, by Kresnik. I mean, you gotta try and get a kill here, but Lycons already falls Ultima Web, waiting out the Bastion turret form. And, you know, that turret doesn't get any value. The Lucio falls on the way out, and Mocha might not be long for this world. Nice headshot from Kresnik. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just ended this fight super quick. Not one of the fastest fights we've seen, but definitely a pretty quick one. Enough for Helios to get 60% to his ultimate, which is a lot, by the way, and Mocha up to 80%. So a lot of healing definitely coming out from her, and Crazy Cat also being relatively close to the window there. But unfortunately for their tank, they're pretty far behind in terms of ultimate status.
Yeah, Helios got so much damage done. Now Ultima Web shooting down from the heavens, gets like 2 people half, gets a Baptiste one-shot, and Baywan falls to Helios from long range. SNHU is going to push this all the way to Timbuktu. The wall comes out, and there's no chance. Mocha pulls out the Coalescence, might be able to secure a kill onto Helios, but the healing is just too much. Maybe a bit of an overinvestment there. The Lee ult's coming out from SNHU at the spawn point, but you know what? If it works, it works. You end that fight really efficiently. Liam Jack making a swap.
Yeah, that was 3 ultimates spent right there, but I feel like they're heading into this super confidently here. I mean, they're holding them here at a little choke point, you know. They gotta have some fun with it here. We already can see Liam Jack maybe start to head back and maybe do another swap here, but they're getting like so close. But SNHU, again, just holding them back there. We see Helios just getting that damage onto him as well.
Yeah. The thing is, SNHU Sapphire is taking these engagements on their terms. Liam Jack gets a nice quick kill onto Ultima Web, which may break open this choke point here. We see Helios backing up a little bit, but you can't stay sleeping when Kresnik has the artillery fire. That's a lot of damage, and Lycons and Mocha feel the brunt of it. That's a lot of damage and not a lot of members for the Queen's Gaels to try and get this touch. The res comes in on Lycons, but Carbon's life may be forfeit.
Ooh.
The Flux comes through. Doesn't look like there's an immortality field, but there is a beat. And with every effort being present, Queen's Gaels not able to secure a presence on the point. SNHU takes Nepal 2-0.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing I want to mention as well is that the Queens are really staying like really close together. I feel like they're super compact, and I don't know if that's just because of the map or it's because of the comp that they're playing, but they're just playing so close together. And with the Bastion and Terraform, it just spreads. I mean, it just does so much. I mean, that's like right there. We can see it in lifetime that like they're all close together, and then the Bastion just destroys everybody with the Terraform.
Yeah,
So.
you're right on with that one. You can't play that compressed if and only if you are going to stay at that far range. It feels like, and I don't want to like, do a straight out call out post here on the twitch.tv/SNHU esports channel.
Yeah.
But it feels like Queen's Gaels are shaking in their boots a little bit when they hit that choke point and they start getting under a little bit of pressure. It feels like they don't really have a plan to move forward. Maybe that's just a control thing. Maybe control isn't their game mode. We'll see going forward. But SNHU is in the driver's seat, and they're not giving it up without a major change.
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to just hold their comp, nothing's really, they didn't have to switch out of anything. They've been playing that Sigma comp, and it's just been working for them. Crazy Cat with the window and just the amount of healing and damage that can be put out through there, it's just, it's insane, right? You have the heal, I don't know how much BAP heals exactly, but it's a lot. I'm pretty sure he's the highest healing support. I could be wrong, but I believe that's correct.
If you're wrong, you're pretty close. I mean, technically, Lucio, Ampeel in a group of 5, Overwatch 1 brain kicking back in there for a moment. But Lucio Ampeels with a full team can do a lot of healing, but that's not necessarily the most realistic scenario. I think in terms of single target healing, especially burst healing.
Yeah, I think BAP has the win on that.
Anna might, but
maybe
nano burst heal.
Okay, yeah,
nano burst heal is really, really good. But regardless, yeah, it's so tough to play into that Baptiste. But no map overview needed this time. It looks like the Queen's Gaels know where they want to go, and where they want to go is Numbani. Another map that I feel like we haven't seen yet.
No, I feel like like you said, we haven't been seeing a lot of maps. We've been seeing a lot of the same stuff, but seeing there's a little bit of change. It's all right. We don't have to really complain about a change here. But heading on to Numbani, I do know that this is also a map that some people like and some people don't. I personally, I'm like, it depends. If the team is good, I like it. If the team is bad, I hate it.
Well, in this scenario, the teams are good, so you don't have to deal with that. I think this is going to be a really interesting comp. I want to see if Helios commits to this Rhine here. I don't expect him to, but looks like we are having a bit of a tech issue here. So indeed, it does look like he is not. But we're gonna wait out to receive word on what happened there. Maybe a wrong map pick.
We saw the Queen's tank also play D.Va on that map, and I feel like with Numbani, it's close, but it's also wide because you're gonna be in those buildings after you get point, or even beforehand if you go out. I don't know the exact but you kind of go out in that little off point and up the stairs. You're super close there. Her micro missiles can do a bunch of damage, especially when you're so close to her. Not to mention that her shield can just block any other projectiles coming at her. So I mean, like for this map, I feel like D.Va is pretty good, and depending how you play with your team, I feel like she can do definitely a lot of damage.
D.Va is really solid. I would also sort of consider the Winston, if only because Winston has that utility where Bubble is so strong in a game of very limited shields. When you have that big dome shield, you can do so much with that. Obviously, you can block damage, but the other sort of unsung thing that you can do with that is you can block off the tank's healing. You put your shield in between your healers and the other team's tank. and they're out in no man's land, no support. They have to break the shield if they want any chance of getting healed up.
True. Or they have to push up, and which the best case is that you're probably gonna die
Right.
if you're trying to push up through that. But no, yeah, Winston definitely a solid pick. I want to say I've seen Doomfist on this map, but I could also be wrong. I know Doomfist is not really seen a lot. I want to, especially in like higher elos. But
Yeah,
like, it could be funny.
Doomfist
it could be funny.
a risky pick, but so we'll see if they change their mind. We're ready to get back into it here. Just a quick little team swap. Something got messed up in the lobby. SNHU getting defense first, it seems like. And Siren flashing the Illari.
That could. I mean, on defense, I want to say Illari is one of a really good support because her pylon. I know it doesn't do a lot of healing, but it does it like somewhat rapidly. It's every like 0.8 seconds or something like that. I could be wrong. Correct me on that. But you can shoot and you can heal at the same time. That's like almost a BAP mechanic in one, just without less healing. So I feel like it's just the way that you can play. It's almost like having 4 DPS. Also, not to mention that their support is also switched out. We see Waste of Carbon coming out on the Mercy, so a lot of amplified damage coming out. Not to mention with the Ash as well, can do a lot.
Yeah, Feiwan switching in from that DPS role to the Baptiste, maybe pulling out that pocket pick. Meanwhile, Calvin coming in on this Sojourn, looking to get a little bit of work done after a bit of a struggle of a first round. Going up this staircase here, Queen's Gaels going to look to break through and just rush down this Sigma, but not if Ultimo Web and the rest of his team have anything to say about it. So much damage coming through, and that's the disadvantage of getting stuffed in this hallway here. Everyone gets hit with those AoE attacks. Ultimo Web not letting Carbon out. I think one may have survived there. Liam Jack may have escaped to tell the tale, but otherwise, not looking great for that first fight.
Yeah, I mean, Sigma, even though he is Liam Jack is just going to get that quick 2-shot right onto Ultimate Web and stop him right there. But another thing I was mentioning is that, again, being stuck in this area here is kind of dangerous because Sigma's balls can just bounce back and forth and they're dealing a lot of damage.
Kresnik hits a straight shot onto Liam Jack. That's a headshot. Gets rest, but now you don't have that resource, and the immortality field had to come out. Lycon's dangerously, dastardly low. Helios has to back out to avoid some of that damage. A lot of AoE getting put
the flux could be
into
big.
that, but you're right, the flux could be big. They're all stuffing themselves into this corner. Sans Liam Jack and Carbon, but if everyone else is stuck in there, they're just going to take all of that AoE
There
damage.
it is.
There's the ult. Gets stunned out of it, but still takes out Calvin with the help of Crazy Cat's window. A dupe onto the Mercy trying to get this res here, and they get it off. Ultimate Weapon resing Siren out of the blue. Lycons falls in the meantime, and what seemed to be Queen's Gael's best chance has slipped between their fingers.
Yeah, that res there is going to be big because now Siren doesn't have to worry about, not being able to pump out enough healing. Crazy Cat doesn't have to worry about a thing. It's one less thing he doesn't have to do. And being able to get that also just resets Ultima Web's ult charge. And he's been getting that pretty fast. We see that his beam also does so much damage too, especially if you're under half health. And the stickies that he gives out, there's just so much that he gives. He's already back up to around 15%.
I mean, Ultima Web is just sick. We've seen this time and time again. Feels like whenever he's in the lobby, you can't not look at him because he will farm you. The Bob coming out onto point gives Queen's Gaels a decent presence here, and now the rest of them have broken through onto this point, but Calvin and Liam Jack Bob and Feiwa and Liam Jack himself falling to a few members of SNHU. Osiren getting a nice double kill, and as quickly as that fight started, it ended.
Yeah, I think one of the things, I think I said this before, but I think them just grouping up too much is kind of big. I think if some DPS went over and tried to contest with others while the tank was pushing the tank, and then maybe doing a little bit of poke damage at the support, I feel like that could really rock SNHU's comp because they're pretty spread out. So when you target one and then go to the other, I feel like it could just mess up what they're doing. But for the Queens, they're kind of just playing together, really. They're not really moving too much.
Ultimo Web seems to be on a little excursion here trying to get a pick in the back line, but, he's not getting the pick. But look at how many members of Queen's Gaels are looking at them. At the time, it was just the Orisa, but able to get the kill onto Liam Jack. Gets another one onto Phelan with the help of Osiren. They go for the res, can't get it. That is a bold captive son.
Does he get it? He does hit it. Needs to do the damage though.
And
the flux too.
The flux at spawn.
And the molten core. They're just staying back here. They, SNHU just pumped out every single ultimate that they needed to just bring them, just keep them in spawn basically. And they got that. They defended that pretty well there with no capture progress at all.
I feel like Queen's Gaels, they have to pull out the smelling salt or something. They gotta wake up. Feels like they're asleep at the wheel. They're not playing as aggressively as they can be, as they should be. They're running this Orisa Baptiste comp. You know what you do with that?
What do you do with it?
You treat you treat your opponent's team like it's some roadkill in the highway. And you go right through.
Right. I mean, Orisa Bap is super strong, and it's just like I feel like they could change something up if they wanted to. We are gonna see that they may be switching here to the Sigma, and it's Sigma's also not bad. We've seen them literally just play on defense like 2 seconds ago here, but going into a Rhine and with a Sigma, is that, you think that's a good matchup or a bad matchup? What's your thoughts about that?
It depends, really. I think what really is going to be key here is Liam Jack on this Widow. Widow, when you only have, when SNHU only has to get one tick, this Widow is a really risky pick because she has no point presence, but she trades that with an incredible headshot that can one-shot any squishy in the entire game.
True. Also, but that also depends on the range here. But I think it doesn't matter for Numbani, and it doesn't matter for SNHU because, they're just going to head through these stairs. So Widow just has to hold a little bit of an angle here. Unfortunately, was not able to get a lot of shots. But
about to get teleported. Oh no! The immortality field comes out, but Phelan loses his life instead. Trades it out for keeping Liam Jack alive, but it's not enough. Just 2 left and not able to touch. SNHU with a swift and decisive map 2 victory. Queen's Gaels have to do something miraculous to run this back.
I want to see this play of the game here. Osiren getting a lot, and also the healing as well is big. I want to see another pick. He does stop this by pushing them away. I actually haven't seen that type of move where I know you can push enemies away, but I haven't seen it with the res there.
Yeah, that was a sick little boot there. Maybe not necessarily necessary,
but it worked.
it did the job. Well, when we were at that point, there were like 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, true. That's when everybody started ult-upping.
I was a little confused as to why, Osiren ulted, and then Kresnik ulted, and then Ultima Lab, and everybody ulted, and then I looked at the clock.
Yeah, and then
that makes sense.
Yeah, but now we're gonna be heading on over to Flashpoint. Let's see what type of maps we have for that. Real quick here, is it gonna be Saravasa? How did I guess it? I think we've been playing Saravasa for every single match, I believe.
I think you are right.
I want to
say SNHU Sapphire, I know they really, really like Saravasa. Don't quite as much like New Junk City, but
New Junk City I'm also not a fan in, just like personally.
I feel like that's a common sentiment. I feel like just as a gameplay wise, not even like high level comfort necessarily speaking, I think people just don't like New Junk City.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just off,
But that is why we've seen Saravasa so often. Definitely a map which SNHU has looked really, really strong on. And I have just realized we're going to see that ball tracer comp that I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
This time coming out from SNHU, and if I'm the Queen's Gaels, I do not want to be on the other end of that.
If they do, we have seen them play that a bunch, but you never know. They could just switch something up last minute. But
they could.
Assuming that they do, And looking at the previous matches, this comp can be extremely deadly with the pile driver coming out, knocking enemies in the air, Tracer blinking in, doing damage, and then blinking out or recalling out. It's just so much chip damage, and it all stacks up because the healers get like all up in the air too, and then they're confused what's happening until they realize the pattern. But then you can't stop the pattern because ball just rolls away and Tracer just recalls.
Yep. And I mean, with how Ultima Web's tracking is, bro might not even need to recall.
Right? He might not.
We've seen his tracking again and again and again. Ultima Web is, to be frank, a dominating force in the lobby. So, I mean, if I'm the Queen's Gaels, I'm really hoping that, my players all studied the footage.
Yeah.
They're ready for this ball comp because this is a comp with some very, very exploitable weaknesses, If you just
like what?
If you just hard aggress on one of the healers,
Yeah.
I mean, you can peel, but generally, your Tracer and your ball are kind of dueling off on their own little side quest, trying to pick off like a Mercy or something. But if they can't peel, then the healers are vulnerable. And that's your
true.
weak point, right?
That's true, yeah.
That and then the other DPS, if you're able to catch one of those, that's your open pick. Then SNHU is going to need to scramble to try and find a trade, and then you can snowball it from there.
True. Okay. Yeah. That does make sense there. But for this ball comp, I can't remember specifically. Sorry to ask you, but what healers are also on that comp?
So I believe
because I don't know if it's. I don't think
it's Lucio Kiriko or something to that effect.
That's what I want to think. But I also feel like we've seen a lot of Kiriko BAP, but I could be wrong.
I feel like you could run a lot here.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see while we get into this map. Let's see.
We got around 10 seconds here
until
to
we
wait. Make your
find
guesses.
out.
Make your guesses now.
I already said mine, and you already said yours.
All right. Let's see what we got here. With this countdown coming out, what are they going to play? It's going to be completely wrong.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah.
Assuming that they stick with this and they're not just locking it for the jokes here. I believe this is a comp we have not seen before.
Yeah. That is an understatement. Kresnik might be busting out the Cassidy. That was his specialty for a long while. No, running it back on the legs.
They're playing normally.
They were trolling us specifically, but we get that Lucio BAP coming out. Helios and Ultima Web going to be looking to really, really just pincer onto Carbon here. Get that early pick. And
oh, there it goes. And it's out already. Lucio out in the air. Ultima Web doing a bunch of damage to the tank, and they're so low already.
Everybody's so low. Kresnik capitalizes onto Feiwan, who is now playing Reinhardt. Lycon's on the Lucio instead. Has to try his best to make it out here, but Calvin, Carbon, and Lycon's all fault. Liam Jack does catch the kill onto Kresnik, but at 1 HP, he's not going to make it out no matter how far that Wraith takes him.
Yeah, Siren getting 2 picks there is huge, and it's also is that 84% ult charge. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been doing a bunch of damage, but this early, we're just at about like 14%, and I know it's Flashpoint, but like, still, that's a lot. But that Sombra is gonna do a lot more.
That Sombra hack into the hook him and cook him. Feiwan catches out Helios with a little bit of assistance, and that's what they needed, but the stick is huge. Nice heals from Feiwan and a better hook. Feiwan, the hero that Queen's Gaels needed, might be able to break this open. Has to stay alive, though. Has some support from his healers. Another big hook, but Helios somehow manages to catch him. Meanwhile, Ultima Web keeping the Sombra occupied. Loses the 1v1 to Calvin. And
there we go.
They might be able to break this open. Calvin and Feiwan may have just changed the fortunes of the Queen's Gaels, but they're not getting aggressive off of it.
They're not getting onto the point here. Kresnik is just holding this place down with 300 HP and the heals. I mean, they need the tank right now to really get onto it, but it's so close, and they need to make a tap right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to. They do, but I think it's too late. You had your chance, and you don't take it. Now, the window is going to come out, and everybody falls. SNHU takes point 1 on this Flashpoint map. Waste of Carbon gets Osiren, but it's so late. You got to commit earlier.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're also not seeing Kiriko here on the Gales side. I feel like with Roadhog that Kiriko is just so good. Not to mention that if he doesn't have your heal, I mean you have the Suzu to keep him alive for a little bit longer as well there. But definitely that Sombra, a huge switch, stopping ball in its tracks and can do a lot as well. But he's gonna smack down right on top of him.
That's so much damage. Both healers gone immediately before the point even unlocks. Helios on a tear right now. Feiwan falls again to Kresnik. Calvin might be able to take out Helios. Loses LOS of the lamp, but it does not matter. Crazy Cat able to secure it. And Ultima Web, just look at it. Ultima Web is playing like by their spawn.
Oh, he was able to get out of that.
This is absurd. SNHU being so aggressive. They know that, Queen's Gaels, they're the ones that have to make a move. Why not?
Oh my, the Bastional could be big here, getting one and a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. Feiwan barely not able to make it out. The Immortality Field falls to the Death Blossom, but nothing else does. SNHU already at 55% on this point, and SNHU is playing by Queen's Gale spot.
Yeah, they were able to commit one ultimate there, but it looks like it was for the better good because they actually needed a swap out of that, but the window is going to be huge as well. But the Gaels have so much ultimates here, and they need to use them.
Yeah, Calvin has had EMP for like 4 fights now. Maybe they finally pulled the trigger, but they need someone to get there to get the contest to make it worth it. They don't seem to have the numbers ready, but I might just eat my words. No, I don't. Flashpoint captured yet again. Queen's Gale sitting on 4 ults, and it feels like they have been for the majority of this map.
Yeah, they've been holding it for a little bit of time now, but obviously when you commit all 4, it's going to be a lot. Not knowing if they are or not, that sleep is huge there. Unfortunately, not a lot of damage is going to be done, but Kresnik is going to do a lot more, getting both supports.
And here's the ult dump after 2 picks come out. The whole hog, the nano, the EMP, all committed, and for nothing, Liam Jack swaps over to the Sojourn, so you don't have any DPS ultimates. All you're sitting on is Lycon's beat. That's not enough to win you fights, and quite frankly, I don't think that's enough for you to survive right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of ultimates were committed there, and it wasn't even on point. It was just like to kill. It was just to kill them, and SNHU was able to work around the areas that they had there. But Liam Jack and that beat is gonna be the closest things to any ultimates right now.
I mean, Helios just let those rip. Kresnik catches Liam Jack and all the space in the world for SNHU. Lycon's again committing that beat super late, but not finding any kills off of it. Kresnik pulls out the artillery fire, and with that damage, Ultima Web is able to get Calvin alongside Crazy Cat getting Lycons, and it's all crumbling down for Queen's Gaels. They had so many resources just a moment ago, and it's all gone.
Oh, they are. They're just holding them at the spawn at this point here. Getting hacked has to make them run away as well. And Osiren is just backing him up, and they're just keeping them here. The flashpoint percent is getting so high, but it just doesn't matter. The sleep comes out, and it's just not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they're gonna have time to touch. This is over. SNHU takes it 3-0, both on flashpoint and in the set. That was
fast.
That was, I don't know the word to use to describe what that was, but brutal, perhaps.
Maybe.
I mean, come on.
We see the spray again. It's just so much damage, just dead. And then the lamp was saving him as well, and it's just, it's gone, just like that. A lot of smart picks coming out from SNHU. They're really able to hold them pretty strong, but I believe that's
game.
That's wraps right there.
SNHU absolutely looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah.
If I'm next up on the schedule to play SNHU Sapphire, my timbers are shivered, my teeth are chattering. I'm not excited for that matchup, but I mean, you just got to run with the schedule you're given. It's so tough in some of these leagues where you're kind of stuck up against one of the top teams in the div, but that does give you a really strong opportunity to prove yourself and your squad
Yeah.
as being as good as you are. But Queen's Gaels just not able to make it happen tonight. This is going to be a one that Queen's Gaels are going to have to look back on. I don't know how much footage there is for SNHU to review, but with that being said, that's all the Overwatch we have for tonight.
Yes, sir.
But it's not all the Overwatch we have for this week. We have Overwatch ECC tomorrow night. Please be sure to follow our socials, our Twitter, Twitch, our Discord, our Instagram,
Everything.
everything at SNHU Esports. Follow those. You will not miss the game. You will not miss a thing that we do here in the Connection Esports Arena. In addition, we have another couple of things happening soon-ish. I believe Granite State Grind
Again? Already?
November 21st. Sign-ups
Oh, okay.
already
Next
live for that. But if you want something a little more traditional in the fighting game space, I am very excited to tell all of you again about our newest tournament on campus. Never Hold Back, our first Street Fighter 6 tournament happening right here in the SNHU Connection Esports Arena.
That's awesome.
You can check out the space and you can play some good Street Fighter. I believe that is happening November 2nd. Hi.
Get out of here.
You're so...
Yeah.
Kresnik is always so strict about not letting ever anyone on camera, but when
And
he
then
gets
he
a
does
quick
it. It's okay.
3-0, he shows up behind me. But I believe that is November 2nd, so be sure to sign up for that. And even if you don't want to play, come on down. We're always
Say hi.
accepting spectators, and quite frankly, fighting games are really fun to watch.
They can,
especially,
yeah.
Street Fighter's sick.
Yeah,
as
it
a
is.
game.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that we're doing more with traditional fighting games on campus this year. It's something that a lot of the content team has been pushing for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very glad to see that it's finally coming to fruition. But I believe that wraps us up for tonight. Again, please remember to follow all of our socials across Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Instagram. I'm missing anything?
I don't think so. Make sure on Twitch too. Turn on those notifications.
Absolutely, drop that Prime sub if you got nothing else to use it on. Goes right to the program.
Yeah.
But with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching tonight, either in the arena or at home on Twitch. We very much appreciate it, and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow with some more Overwatch.
In this match, Steven still holding on to the lead at 100%. Marshall Peach